I'm Justin Vincent, and I work Salvation Army Missions Specialist over at Nashville Citadel of Medicine.
My name is Stephanie Justice, and I'm the Corps Assistant Helper over at Nashville Citadel.
And you also have a specific relationship with each other.
We do.
Go ahead.
We're engaged.
And you also, now you just got back from Haiti just very recently?
Yes, very, very recently.
I'm going to let you tell us about that at first, and then we'll move back over here to hubby to
Okay.
be. Tell me what you guys were doing there.
Well, we basically, this year we worked with the schools, with children's homes. We got to go into the village right beside where we were staying and actually go inside people's homes and visit with them in their world, basically stepping out of ours completely into their world. We painted schools. We played with the children. We went and painted one of the churches and helped around there, and just took a lot of things with us as well to pass out to the children in the villages as well as the children's home.
Okay, you say you stepped into their world. Tell us what their world is like, because we don't know. You have to paint us a picture.
It's probably, you see movies about, poor countries, third world countries, things like that, stuff that's we don't even think about because we've got, plenty of clothes on our back. We've got, money in our pocket, jobs. Actually, it's like 83% of Haiti is unemployed completely and probably won't get a job. They just sit around all day. There's not jobs to be had there. But the kids there, they play like normal kids. I mean, they play like us. They don't have as much to do. They don't sit around all day and play on my Xbox like I do. But they play sports. They play card games. Anything they can get their hands on, they play with. So.
What about if you went into their homes? What kind of food would you find, like in their pantry?
Really, you see their food running around. Chicken, if you saw a chicken around later, that chicken was going to be supper. Or a goat, you would see a goat, and that they kept it, growing it, and getting it healthy so that could be a meal one day. A normal meal, we had one meal at one of the children's home, and this is at a children's home that money is going to and being taken care of, and it still was not enough. It was, if you took a small buffalo wing from like Buffalo Wild Wings, one of those and a spoonful of rice, and that was the meal that day. That one meal was the only meal that child had that day. So, I mean, think about how much we eat here and then going there, and that's all that child, a growing child, is going to get for the day. But in their homes, you hardly saw any food at all.
Did that make you cry when you saw that was the meal for a day?
Yeah, there was one point we had taken our lunch with us, and we found out that the children weren't going to get a lunch that day because there wasn't enough. If they wouldn't get dinner, if they had lunch, it was just going to be 2 meals. And we decided, no, let's give it to them. And it was really hard to even eat anything knowing that, right, like just a few feet from you, there's a child who has gone all day without eating. So
did it make you just want to go back to wherever you were staying and go grab all your food and just...
Yes, and we usually did. We took a lot of snacks because going into another country, you're not sure of what you can eat or what you can drink. So they tell us to bring some food. But I mean, throughout the week, that food disappeared. That's just because you had 50 kids in front of the hotel wanting to play, and you can see them, they're just nothing but skin and bone, and you're just wanting to give them all you have. So our suitcases were pretty empty by the time we came home. From all our clothes were given to them, whether they fit or not, that was something for them. And then all our food as well we hardly ate any of our food. We gave it to them.
I gave a lot of fruit roll-ups away.
Fruit roll-ups?
Fruit roll-ups, took a whole box.
Is that a big deal?
To me, it is.
Had they had? Oh, that was a big deal for you. Had they had fruit roll-ups before?
I don't think so, because they didn't know what to do with it.
Oh.
I'm not sure if they knew if it was food at all, much less candy. But once they ate it, their faces lit up, and they're like, "Oh, this is something awesome. I want some more of that."
It's interesting how they're so welcoming and loving. Like, your neighbor is your family. We got to go to his house twice, actually to his home, and he was like, "This is my wife. These are my children. This is my brother. This is my brother's wife. This is their children." And they all live in that one little area. So it really is, the community is your family, and they are there for each other no matter what, helping each other out. So
now, you said something about the people who didn't know you and maybe didn't trust you. We feel like they should trust us anywhere. We're the good guys.
Yeah, we're Americans. Trust us.
That's right. what are they afraid of? What's going on that makes them kind of doubt?
Well, one of the biggest reasons is a lot of places in Haiti, there's actually one village that one of our teams went to that has never seen white people before at all. They don't know what to do with this because, I mean, they've never seen people with our color skin.
Yeah.
And, it's probably frightening to them because they've never been around that, and they don't know, they don't know us. We can't speak their language, so there's an obvious...
They have no idea why you're there.
They have no idea why we're there. They don't know, other than our smiling faces, they really don't know who we are or even to trust us, So it was kind of, uneasy being there the first, because I had been on a mission trip before, but I've never been to Haiti, and it's definitely uneasy to see some of the kids kind of, just kind of stare at you because they don't know really who you are, what to do with you, or really what to say to you or anything, because they know you don't understand what they're saying, but most of them do end up chatting your ear off anyway. So
really,
it's
even
really
though they
cool.
know you don't understand them?
Absolutely. I mean, they'll just sit there next to you and talk to you for hours on end, and you just, yeah, totally okay, and you have no idea what they're saying.
Why do you think that is? They're
I have no
also
idea.
very open, aren't they?
Well, because once they realize that we're not there to hurt them, we're there to love on them and be nice to them and just be around them and kind of learn about them, they kind of really open up and want to show you who they are and all this other, if a kid has a cool collection of rocks or something, they'll show you each one and, describe each one to you. And I mean, you have no idea what they're saying. So, it's still pretty enriching to see them open up like that, even though you don't know what they're saying. So it's.
And I hear that you really picked up the language. Which is, what is the language?
They speak French Creole down in Haiti.
And your big word is?
Oui. Means yes. And merci, thank you. So I've learned a few words, but nothing really.
He's not really bragging about it.
Yeah, no.
What about some of the people did you meet anybody who was affected by the earthquake or anybody who was actually lost in the earthquake?
We did. We actually, Bob Hoff, who has been a big Salvation Army spokesperson from Haiti, him and his wife are living in Haiti. We got to know them very well. They were the first ones to greet us and kind of just keep an eye on us while we were in Port-au-Prince. And they're kind of just like us. Like, he's still learning the language and whatnot.
He says we a lot.
Yeah, he says we a lot. But their home was pretty much gone. They lived at the church, and the church wasn't affected and the school wasn't affected, but their home was. So to know that they're safe and they're okay, that was just amazing. We just recently found out a lady that meant a lot to me. Her mother was actually affected and was actually passed away in the earthquake. And they're still trying to find her brother and sister. And just knowing that, just still not knowing some people and maybe never knowing exactly is kind of, uneasy, unsettling. But the greatest thing is that out of all this destruction, out of all this chaos, that you hear Haiti constantly now. This is my second time going, and the first time I went, so many people were like, why Haiti? Like, why don't you go somewhere else? Go to Jamaica and do missions. Go to Africa. Go here. Why Haiti? And I'm like, Haiti's so close and needs it so much. And now that's all you hear is, let's go to Haiti. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And so many people calling and wanting to give their time and give their money to a place that was just kind of under the rug before. So after this, knowing that there is hope and that, the water that they're getting now is probably the best water that they ever had, or the food that they're actually getting food now, some of them, and things like that. So it's, sad that we've lost some people and sad that, we have friends that have lost their homes or lost loved ones, but it's great to know that they now are getting the help that was always kind of needed. So.
Okay, and can you guys hang on?
Yes.
And we'll be back in just a minute with more from Justin and Stephanie, and we're going to find out what they think as they see pictures of places they've seen in person on the news, now completely devastated. And we'll talk more with them in just a minute.